everyone. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 4 of You're a Badass. If this is the first video that you're watching, make sure that you go back so you can catch on with chapters 1, 2, and 3. A lot of the people in my team are just doing it through Audible, but they do sell the book as well. So you can do it this with us live or just rewatch everything after. So on chapter 4, the author is talking about ego. And I had a little bit of the same misconception as her as far as like ego just being the like big ego thing where people are just like full of themselves. I didn't have too much of an understanding on everything that she was talking about in the book, which I thought was super interesting the way that she describes it. That ego is your false self, right? Ego is who's driving the bus when you tend to self-sabotage right before you reach your goal. And your ego it operates from all those old self-limiting beliefs that you like build or that were implanted or whatever you want to say from when you were a kid, right? Which is what she talked about on the previous chapters. So your ego is 100% fear-based. It wants to keep you in your comfort zone. It wants to make sure that you understand that all those old self-limiting beliefs are true. So anytime that you try to change, it's going to try to stop you from doing that. That's the self-sabotage and all those things. So your ego focuses only on the future or the past, right? Instead of on the present, which creates like a perfect environment for the victim mentality. By victim mentality, I mean you tend to not take any responsibility for your life. So it's like saying, my life sucks. There's nothing I can do about it though, so I'm just gonna continue to have a sucky life versus being proactive and doing something about it. So and then your ego being your false self is completely opposite than your true self or your higher self, which is connected to God. So your true self, it operates from your connection with God. Meaning it's present-based, right? It's only focusing on the present, and it's not fear-based, and it's proactive, which is the opposite of what we just talked about. So a person that's proactive sees a problem, sees some things that bother you, and they focus on a plan of action to change that versus just the victim mentality of not doing anything about it. So I thought that was like a perfect explanation from it. And your true self seeks validation from within. So when you know that you're doing something that's good, that has a purpose, and you know about your goals and why you have those goals, that validation is coming from within. It's from you saying, I love myself, I trust myself, this feels right, I know where I'm going, and whether you validate that or not, it's not going to change my actions, it's not going to change my beliefs, right? It's the validation that comes from within. So I thought that was like super clear explanation of it, because I definitely didn't have that understanding about the ego. So the problem is most of our society lives like their false selves, right? They have like their false identity, which causes them to be very shameful or very judgy of the people that go for it, right? So our society tends to even label them as irresponsible when people take a leap of faith to like quit their jobs and open a new business or to move to a new country or to do different things like that. So, and I believe, she even explains that in the book, the reason why they do that is because when somebody else is doing that, it's proven to you that's very possible, right? Like when somebody does something that you want to do, it proves to you that everything that you've been telling yourself is just excuses, right? Because if that person can do it, so can you. So for a lot of people, it's very hurtful to see other people just going for it and becoming their authentic selves and taking those leaps of faith, because now all the reasons that I created in my head why I cannot do that, they become just excuses and they're not validated anymore, right? So it's easier for us to just be judgmental of people who are doing versus acknowledging that everything was just excuses and that we could actually just get the fuck up and go and achieve those goals and achieve those dreams that we've been talking about for so long. I had a call from a customer, but anyways, so she's explaining how your ego will create chaos every time that you're about to move forward, which is the thing that we mentioned before about the self-sabotage, right? So whenever you are moving forward and you're leaving those self-limiting beliefs behind, you're murdering your ego, right? You're killing that old person that you thought that you were supposed to be from the way you're raised, from all those old limiting beliefs that you had before. So it's normal for the ego to react in physical and emotional ways to stop you from doing that, right? That's why that's the reason for the self-sabotage. That's why a lot of people right before they open a business, some crazy shit happens on their financial side and things get messed up, or on your old relationships, or people even get sick right before they're about to have a breakthrough. So she was explaining that that's pretty much the ego fighting back from you, because you're about to kill it. You're about to kill that old person that you thought you were supposed to be, right? You're about to kill the victim mentality. So I thought that was super interesting, because I definitely experienced different things like that when I was about to open this business. Like we literally opened the business right when 2 weeks before the pandemic hit. So it was pretty hectic, but it was pretty cool to understand that part. And because I had that thing where when it happened to me, I was like, maybe I'm in the wrong path. And she explains that it's the exact opposite. Whenever those things happen, a lot of people tend to say, oh, maybe that's a sign that I'm in the wrong path, that I'm doing the wrong thing. But you should take that chaos as the opposite. The chaos that comes right before you break through is the proof that you are in the right path. Is the proof that you're about to get rid of all the BS that you've been putting in your mindset this whole time, so you can make the next step. And she ends that chapter with something that I thought was very powerful, that growth is not for weak people, right? Growing is gonna be scary, it's gonna be painful, but it is not gonna be as painful as living the life that you're living right now if you're not totally going for it, if you're not living your authentic self, right? So that's chapter 4. I hope you guys are liking it so far. I see a lot of different things that I experienced in my life, in business, in relationships, in so many different aspects. So I'm definitely loving it. But tune in for chapter 5. We'll be doing that tomorrow. And this is gonna be on Instagram and YouTube as well, okay? I'll see you guys later.